They called him Wolf Messing, a man without a country, a mind without walls, a Soviet telepath, officially dismissed as a stage performer, but quietly studied by intelligence agencies on both sides of the Iron Curtain. In October 1963, his name appeared in a visitor record at the U.S. State Department. He had arrived in Washington under a cultural exchange visa, a harmless illusionist from Poland, performing at universities and embassies. But the truth, according to a file unsealed decades later, was different. The file was labeled Psychological Consultation, Executive Level. Messing had sent a message through an intermediary, a professor from Yale who had once worked on CIA Project MKUltra, requesting a private audience with the president. The note read simply, "A vision has come, a warning, 3 sounds, 1 echo." At first the request was ignored, but Messing insisted, saying it concerned a matter of national fate. 2 days later, the Secret Service arranged a 10-minute meeting at the White House under the pretense of a cultural introduction. No transcript exists. Only 1 page from the visitor log survived, dated October 31st, 1963, with 2 words next to his name: cleared, briefed. According to later testimony from an interpreter, Messing spoke in a quiet, almost trembling voice. He told the president that he saw 3 sharp sounds, a crowd, and a sudden fall. Kennedy reportedly smiled politely and said, "You're not the first to warn me, Mr. Messing." Messing replied, "I am the last." The interpreter said that after those words, the room fell completely quiet. Kennedy stood, shook his hand, and told him, "I'll see you in Dallas." It was the last time Wolf Messing was seen alive. 2 weeks later, November 22, 1963. 3 sounds, 1 echo. Messing's body was never found. Officially, he returned to Europe, but his passport was never used again. And in 1978, an internal FBI memo surfaced mentioning him by initials only. Consultant WM, predicted fatal event, White House, October 63. The memo was marked declassified, no circulation. Another file, buried in CIA archives under Psychological Operations Foreign Nationals, contains a line that seems connected. Foreign consultant advised executive of imminent termination. Evaluation accurate. The rest of the page is blacked out. Historians later confirmed that during that week, President Kennedy received 3 separate warnings of possible danger during his Texas visit. 2 came from law enforcement. The third, from a man no one wanted to admit existed. In 1991, a retired CIA archivist named Michael Reston claimed he handled the original transcript of the meeting. He said it was destroyed under direct order from the National Security Council in 1964. Before his death, he gave one interview. When asked if the story of Wolf Messing was real, he said only, "Let's just say the president was warned, and not by God." There are photographs of that day. Kennedy leaving the Oval Office, shaking hands with a pale, thin man. Official captions label him as foreign academic, but facial analysis confirms a 92% match with Wolf Messing. Experts have argued for years whether it proves anything, but one detail stands out. In the corner of the image, a small wall clock reads 11:33 a.m., the exact time Messing's train ticket from New York should have departed. If the man in the photo wasn't him, then where was Messing that morning? And if it was, who signed the clearance that let him into the White House? Today, all official references to Wolf Messing in U.S. archives are removed. Search the National Archives and you'll find only a placeholder. Record withheld in full, national security exception. Still, fragments survive. A single carbon copy of a letter from 1963 addressed to the director. It reads, "The consultant's words are unsettling. He insists the event cannot be stopped, only delayed. He used the word echo repeatedly. Advise whether further contact is permitted." There is no response letter. The story of Wolf Messing and John F. Kennedy remains officially unverified, but every part of it fits into the cracks of history too perfectly to ignore. A missing visitor, a deleted log, a prophecy that sounded like nonsense until the moment it came true. Maybe it wasn't prediction after all. Maybe it was permission.